All right, we're going to go over some of the different variations of movements that you can do with the Rogue Strongman Sandbag. This is one of their new things coming out. I really think it's an extremely useful tool for just about anybody, and especially gyms. This is their 100-pound bag. You just buy the bag, and it's $85. You go to the hardware store, buy yourself 100 pounds of sand. It's like $8, $10 there. So now you're talking 95, 100 bucks, and you've got yourself a really good tool. So first thing, one of the things I'll see people do when they're picking up these sandbags is they'll just grab it and they pull with their arms, just like that. Well, if you get it down, what I like to do personally is flip the sandbag up to this side and then get my chest as close to the bag as I can. From here, I want to have this thing as close to my chin as possible so that when I snap this thing over my shoulder, it doesn't have a lot of distance to go. As far as the way I wrapped my arms on this thing is around just like this, where some people will grab it and they'll go like this and use their biceps, and they're just going to really lock those suckers up. So if you just use this side as your reference point and just bury your chest to it, okay? Now you're here, up and over the shoulder, okay? So biggest things you're going to want to look at when you're doing these is keeping it as high as you can and arms wrapped around like a hug, not around like this. Not like it can't be done per se, but if you're doing a bunch of these reps, and you're using this the whole entire time, you're going to tend to overuse those biceps too much. So many different things you can do with them. You can do basic like sandbag squats where you're here. Super demanding on the core. You could even do a back squat with it, where you pick it up, hold it just like so. And what's really hard is that if you stand up too high, it's going to slide back. If you need to rest, you can shake out your arms, so on. Okay, but that's definitely a couple of variations you're going to want to do. I like them because they're really easy to learn for most people. You don't have to teach them how to get their elbows through and under a clean. And when you think about like the practical aspect to this, it's a lot more functional, I believe, than a barbell. So if I was going to pick up, say, a bag of a bunch of pea gravel from the hardware store or Home Depot or something like that, I'm not going to go to the pea gravel set up with my hands out. I have to widen out, get up over, pick it up, and put it into the cart. So, those are some things you can do. You could stack a couple of plyometrics boxes, pick it up, put it on top, bring it back down, do that multiple times. Definitely so many different variations you can do. And as far as scaling goes, if you don't have a bunch of those sandbags, you can even use a medicine ball. I mean, these are also great for kids. They don't make anything smaller than 100 right now. So you basically can use medicine balls here. And it's a good way for, say, a young kid to be a lot more explosive earlier rather than having to dig right into, say, the Olympic lifts. Not that I think the Olympic lifts are great, but as far as the technical aspect, there's a lot of movement mastery that goes along with the Olympic lifts. Whereas with this one, you don't really, there's a few fine points, but you're just really grabbing that sucker and ripping right through it really hard. You can say to someone who's pretty new and get them to hit intensity pretty simply without having to get into a hour-long drawn-out progression of using a hook grip, shoulders shrugging, and all that kind of stuff. Hope that helps. Have fun.